Hello everyone, welcome to the AI Learners YouTube channel. My name is Hamad and together we will explore the vast landscape of artificial intelligence. Now this person on the screen seems to be confused. He must have used ChatGPT, but then he tried to figure out how does all of it work. And then when he started his research due to his interest in the field of artificial intelligence, he came across the terms like neural networks, machine learning, transformer architecture, reinforcement learning, large language models. The AI landscape is so vast and so huge that it has become overwhelming with jargons like convolutional neural network, MCPs, transformer architecture, so many terms, and all of them are relevant to the working of technologies like ChatGPT. Now, there are other learning resources on the internet, but most of them are like either too technical with the mathematics, with too few intuitive examples and business use cases, or they stay too high level without practical understanding other. And frankly speaking, that is the main cause of all the confusion. You learn about one concept, let's say you learn about neural networks. You figure it out how networks work, but that requires you to understand how backpropagation works. But then backpropagation requires you to understand how gradient descent works, and that requires some decent understanding of mathematics. And I'm not even scratching the surface of the linear algebra that is involved in all of this, in matrix multiplication, in other operations that powers the technologies like ChatGPT or Anthropic's Claude Sonnet models. Now, as the part of solution, I've decided to create this platform, the AI Learners platform, that provides a clear and a structured path through the AI concepts. And talking about those concepts, as I was saying earlier, that let's say you use an AI tool called ChatGPT, that is the most commonly used AI tool these days, and the most known one as well, ever since its rise to fame in 2022. And since then, the AI has been exploding exponentially. Each year, we get some new technology or a new research paper that changes our understanding and makes the functioning of AI more efficient than before. DeepSeek is the prime example of it. And even mainstream media reported how DeepSeek revolutionized and disrupted the whole AI ecosystem. Now, let's say you're using ChatGPT and you are wondering how does all of it work. You start your research, then you come across this field, deep learning. And then using deep learning algorithms, you may create large language models. Now, this is related to deep learning. And then since deep learning is an algorithm, so you need to understand the how algorithms work, and then all of this works on GPU. So the point being, these scattered concepts are interrelated to each other. One is dependent on the other, but they are so scattered that it's often confusing and time taking to understand all of these concepts in short amount of time, especially for those who have day jobs, who have a family to feed, or just regular people. But they want to learn about AI. And this is where the AI Learners platform, is going to help them. Now, this video is an introduction, a preface of what's next to come, and that is the learning path that we will take together in exploring and understanding of each of these terms in details with intuitive examples. But before diving any further, let's have a glance of how the universe of AI looks like. Now you may see this schema, it's all well structured and ordered. The AI universe is a vast, intricate ecosystem encompassing various subfields that contribute to its overall functionality. Like for example, the neural networks are the backbones of generative AI. Each of the term mentioned here uses neural network as its backbone to work. And neural networks in turn use the concepts of the machine learning. So all of these fields, the subfields, are connected to each other. Now, this is where it gets tricky. The schematic seems ordered, well structured, but when you pick one of these topics and start from there, it gets so confusing because learning one topic requires you to learn another one from any other subfield at the same time. And this is where the AI Learners platform is going to help you. Now, let's take a look at the structure of this course that we are going to follow. We will start with the essentials and the fundamentals, the data. Now, data is the most fundamental concept of anything that is associated with artificial intelligence. Let me give you an example. You go to chatgpt.com, you open a new chat, you give it a prompt. Your prompt is the data, you give it as an input, and then you wait for the interface to give you the response back. The response it gives you back, it also is also a data. You give it the input, the textual data, and it gives you back the textual data as the output. So we can see that the data is essential in working of it. And how these models and algorithms were made, that also depends on the data. So the concept of data is very essential. And if we're able to understand the fundamentals of data, how data is involved, everything else will become clear and easy to understand. Let's see how this course is split into modules. We will progress through 6 logical modules. The first being the foundation, the data, and we'll start by understanding what data is, where it comes from, and why the quality matters. This is the essential ingredient for all AI. And then we will look at, we'll have another look at this big picture, the artificial intelligence. We'll explore what AI actually means, its history, the key concepts that frame our understanding. Why does AI need GPUs? We'll answer these questions. Now, this universe of AI is snapshot of what we know today about the artificial intelligence. It has a history. It has an evolutionary cycle. It started from some point, and we will try to understand that, figure that out from where it started and how it evolved through the time. And that is, I think, very crucial in understanding each of these concepts. And then we will progress forward towards machine learning. That is the learning from experience, the learning from data, the observed data. Here we will see how computers can learn patterns from data rather than following explicit instructions. And then from machine learning, we will proceed towards more advanced topics, neural networks that are inspired by the brains. And after completing neural networks, after understanding the fundamentals, the basics of how neural networks work, we will explore how adding more layers enables neural networks to recognize more and incredibly complex patterns. And that we will explore in the module of deep learning. We will go deeper into the functioning of neural networks, but obviously with intuitive examples and industrial use cases. And then eventually, as a last module, we will cover the generative AI, and we will try to understand and how the previous modules, all of them, add to this one as we know today. Like we will explore how the platforms such as ChatGPT use generative AI and underlying concepts of neural networks, machine learning, and other stuff to function. And then, with the help of that, we will try to understand the function of large language models, and that is what powers these generative AI platforms. And finally, after completing all the 6 modules, we will converge back to the map of the AI so that each component on this map makes sense. We will use all the understanding of the concepts that we developed in these modules and then rebuild this whole map, this one. It will be similar, but that map that we will rebuild will make much more sense and each concept will be connected to each other. So finally, I want to say is this: just stick with the AI learners learning path with me and you will develop a clear understanding of AI. and that will serve you whether you are just curious and want to use the AI tools better, or even if you are considering starting a career in this field. It will help you a lot. Trust me with it. I will explain each concept in a way of ELI5 so that even 5 years old will be able to understand it. You just need to understand basic English, and that's it. That's all the requirement. I will break down each module into 10 minutes long episodes, and each of the episodes will cover that concept in details using intuitive examples that are very easy to understand. And most importantly, because the other resources don't do it often, are the industrial use cases for each concept. Yes, you heard me right. For each concept, I will link up the industrial use cases. Where are these concepts used in the bigger picture? So if you are thinking about starting a career in this field, you already know, you're already prepared for the interviews after watching these modules, these episodes with me. Thank you. Like and subscribe, please, and stay tuned for more.